Hi, I'm Danny Lipford.
And I'm Chelsea Lipford-Wolf.
Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner here on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment.
And be sure to share with a friend, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get notified of new videos.
Thanks and enjoy the show.
Eventually, the outside of every home needs some repair. So this week, Today's Homeowner is taking on 5 common ones. Get your notepad and pull up a chair.
I've got to get the outside done, which I probably should have done several years ago.
This beautiful old house was built in 1885, and for the past 11 years, Hayes Homes has called it home.
I do love the old house, the details, the woodwork, the floors, everything is wonderful in that way. It's just a good location. I like the style.
But the downside of an old home is maintenance.
You know, in our weather, the heat, the humidity, old house, I've got to get the outside done. I want to learn about how to do things. I need to replace some rotten wood. I need to fix the trim, obviously paint, just your basic maintenance, which I probably should have done several years ago and I've just put off and ignored and just been lazy. Any house is an investment and I want to take care of it. I want to get knowledge from Danny Lipford and the rest of you to do what I need to do. I know I can't do it all myself, but just knowing how it's done or being a little bit familiar with how it's done will help me. I've actually seen a squirrel walking down this wire, and I guess it chewed its way in, and sometimes, especially if it's cold, I've heard them in the attic.
Oh,
I mean, if I'm sitting in bed reading a book or something.
It's only about a 3-foot board there that be pretty easy to patch that up, so that's a pretty easy one.
So you would just take that on?
Yeah.
Okay, and this is another place right here.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know whether I don't know the terminology, but I guess it wasn't done with weather.
With treated wood?
Treated wood?
Yeah, probably not. It may have been. We'll just have to kind of get a screwdriver and kind of probe around on a little bit and see how bad some of that is.
Well, this is a tiny part. You say you just need a screwdriver for that. Let me show you some other stuff that is going to require a lot more than that.
Okay, all right.
And I was telling you, I've noticed a lot of loose or rotten siding in different places. This is a place over here. You can see it over there in the corner.
Oh yeah, looks like some repair took place there, maybe some plumbing repair or something since they...
Yeah, the bathroom is right there.
Oh, I got you.
But there's the place that I really wanted to show you is right over here.
All righty. Man, what a cool backyard. This is kind of nice. See, spending some time out here.
This is embarrassing. I noticed this and I just kept...
Oh, you got it hidden away here.
Yeah, I was hiding it behind this potted plant, and I used to put a potted plant on top of it.
Yeah.
But both sides are just kind of rotted away.
Yeah, a lot of that's just from it being so shaded, and then obviously this wasn't treated wood here. But you know, so much of this kind of thing, it looks a lot worse than it really is, because you can peel these things away, hopefully not find any more than what we're looking at, and then recase it with treated wood, put a cap on it, and heck, it'll be good.
So these are not as bad as they look?
Not as bad as they look.
Okay.
So in a few days, our team shows up with tools and materials.
Okay, so you're going to help Hayes with the siding around back. He's really anxious to find out exactly how you do that.
Easy to do.
You're going to take care of trimming a few hedges, hopefully not find any more rotten wood.
I hope not.
Okay, I'll take care of the little squirrel damage up front if you can kind of help me with this big long ladder here. You know, one of the things I found over the years when you're repairing wood on the outside of the house, take care of all of the high work first.
If that squirrel jumps out and jumps on me, that's gonna be some great video.
This repair is right next to the incoming electrical service, which can be very dangerous. So we had the utility company temporarily de-energize this line at the street before we started working. Because there's a seam close by, the damaged board is easy to remove. Well, I'll make sure the squirrel is not at home.
He's got a little hole dug down into this area.
Hey, hey.
Alan and Hayes get started on a replacement piece.
Hey, as you see, we didn't have just a squirrel. It was an architect squirrel. It was in, and he was working on a way out right here.
I knew there's more than one.
All right, this is actually going to be easy. What we're going to do is just set it on a piece of the exact type material. I'm going to square it off on the edge here. Give you the pencil. I want you to draw me a line right there and right on the other side.
After a quick lesson on the miter saw, Hayes makes the first cut, and in no time, I'm completing our very first repair.
Thank you, thank you.
That looks great. Good. I'm happy with it. Squirrel's not going to be happy, but I like it.
Yeah, that's going to be a rude awakening when he gets here tonight.
Storing glue bottles in the workshop is not a particularly difficult challenge. I mean, this is how most of us store glue bottles, and there's certainly nothing wrong with that. But there is a better way. And all you need is a drill with a 3/4 inch diameter spade bit. What you do is take the drill and drill a couple of holes in a shelf near the workbench. And then all you need to do is store the bottles upside down in the holes. Now the great thing about that is, first, the glue is always right there. You know where it is. You don't have to go searching for it. But the glue will drop down near the tip because it's stored upside down. So when you get ready to use it, it comes out really easily because you can dispense it, because you don't, especially if it's a half a bottle, it's not sitting at the bottom, it's now sitting near the top. And the glue sitting near the tip will seal out air so that the nozzle won't get clogged as easily. Now, if you don't have a shelf like this in front of your workbench, you can simply drill a hole in the end of your workbench, set it in there, and that works just as well.
We're helping Hayes Homes make 5 common exterior repairs to his 130-year-old home. Next up is some damaged siding. So Chelsea is helping Hayes prime some replacement pieces.
So we're just going to paint this one side?
We're actually going to paint all the sides, what's called back priming. Since it's wood siding, it expands and contracts a lot, but this will help keep some of the moisture out so we don't have to worry about coming back and repairing it in 5 years.
Oh, good.
We went ahead and got a tinted primer just to make our final coat a little easier instead of the white primer.
Well, that's great.
While the primer dries, Alan gets Hayes started on the repair.
You can see where someone may actually cut and probably put the same boards back. I hate seeing a straight line like this.
Okay.
So we're going to pull off at least 5 of these, and I'll show you how you can then weave it in back and forth so you don't see all that right there.
Great.
They begin removing the damaged boards from the bottom up and quickly discover that something's missing.
There's not a stick of insulation in here. I mean, nothing. What we'll do, since we have this off, we're going to pull all this off of here. Let's put some insulation in while it's open. Okay, we'll do that. Now, you know what's interesting here is I don't see pipes anywhere. I assume this might have been a pipe leak. Of course, there was that might be your moisture right there.
I didn't do it.
To avoid damaging the boards above the patch area, they're using an oscillating tool to cut the nails that go through both the damaged board and the one above it.
So we're ready to start installing our boards. The important thing is to put it in the right spot. Now, we could try to eyeball it, and that might work okay. But this is one of my little tricks here. Just a little jig. You can put that against the bottom of the board under it, and you're going to be right on the spot every board that we go up. All right?
Okay,
So
great.
take you one of those. I'm going to take one of these.
With Allen's gauge blocks in place, they can nail the upper edge of each board so that the fasteners are hidden by the board above. And with a little practice, Hayes gets to be pretty proficient with a hammer as well, even if Allen is his teacher. Meanwhile, out front, Chelsea is trimming the shrubs back from the house to prevent further water damage while I'm getting started on that rotten column base.
Well, I can't tell you how many column bases like this I've replaced over the years. You know, you have vegetation growing up on it, or either you have irrigation system hitting it. But
Yeah, that doesn't look that bad.
it's pretty good.
Using the old skirt pieces as a template, I can mark and cut out new ones from a piece of treated 1x8. Then it's a simple matter of tacking them in place with some galvanized finish nails. Out back, Allen and Hayes are nearing completion on the replacement siding.
My last piece.
Last piece.
Once the nailing is done on repair number 2, they can apply caulk to all of the joints and seams to seal out moisture and smooth the transitions. Up at the front porch, I'm installing new cap molding around the base to wrap up repair number 3.
It looks really good. I cannot tell you, after I've seen it so many times, looked so bad, I forgot how bad it looked.
Or you started looking away?
Absolutely.
While Hayes is sealing up the new column base, Alan climbs up on the roof to tighten up that piece of loose siding. He's pre-drilling the holes for his fasteners since this piece has to be face-nailed. Now after that, he moves on to a small repair in the middle of a piece of siding.
We're gonna repair this with painted wood's best friend. It's automobile body filler, commonly called Bondo. That's a brand name.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you how easy this one is.
Putty in this can is mixed with a cream hardener, and the resulting reaction makes it dry incredibly hard, incredibly fast.
We're gonna take, scoop it, spread it in. But I want you to do that.
Okay.
Okay?
And just dollop it in.
That's it. Remember, it doesn't have to be neat.
Well, that's a good thing.
With a little sanding and another light coat of filler, this repair is complete.
Yes, my recip saw is one of my favorite power tools. However, I will tell you my biggest complaint with a recip saw are that the blades don't last very long. This is the Diablo Steel Demon blade. Let me tell you what all this little bad boy can do, what this little demon can do. This is perfect for cutting really thick metals. It can cut from 3/16 of an inch all the way up to a 1/2 inch. Well, you may be asking yourself, okay, Jody, that's fine, but what kind of steel or metal is it going to be cutting? Well, you can cut cast iron. That's impressive. You can also cut high strength alloy. You can also cut stainless steel. And again, my biggest complaint is that these blades wear down very quickly. Not this one. This actually lasts 20 times longer than a standard blade. So you know what? I'll be quite frank with you. It doesn't really matter what recip saw you have. It's the blades that count. And this one definitely makes the grade.
This week, we're tackling some common exterior repairs with homeowner Hayes Holmes. In just one day, we've completed 3 of our 5 projects. Now, on to day 2.
Yesterday was a great day. We got so much accomplished, but today we're planning on finishing all of the repairs on the outside of Hayes' house so that he can move forward with his paint project. Now, Alan and Hayes are going to be working on a pretty simple way of replacing a missing window screen and also repairing some torn screen. Chelsea's going to help me replace all of this rotten wood with some treated wood that'll last a long time. Hey, I'm going to need you to help me move this big thing out of the way. There you go. Thank you. It seemed like you weren't helping much.
Chelsea gets a little more involved, moving the next one. While we're making room to work, Alan is taking the measurements he needs to create a new screen frame.
All right, let's get this wood off.
Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
Yeah, I hope that post is good. It seems to be.
It looks like it.
Looks like it kind of got a little bit of damage there, but
Well, if it's so rotten, it should be easy to take out.
you would think so. Let's see. Yep.
That was...
Pretty easy. Your turn.
I want to do that. Oh, man. You gave me the hard side, Dad.
There you go. All right, now. What is it?
There was a... It was a roach or something. It's gone now. It's going to be in my boots later, probably.
Probably.
Can you take all this wood and build a fire over here?
Yeah, it is
a little chilly.
It's a little cold. That'd be a great way to get rid of that.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
treated, right?
That's not treated.
We can burn it.
Okay, go ahead, fire it up.
Cool.
Good.
With the handrail propped up, we can remove the remaining rotten wood wrapping the post, along with plenty of rusted nails.
Are these posts okay?
Yeah, well, I've got a little bit. We might have to use the old epoxy trick and fill that in because the rest of this is in good shape.
Great. What are we doing over here?
I'm going to build a screen for that. It's really a lot simpler than it was in the past where you had to do miter cuts to do this right, 45-degree angles, because you've got these little clips right here.
Those are the corners?
Just corners, yeah. So we're just doing straight cuts. So easy to cut now. So I've got my measurement, and then I'm going to subtract 1.5 inches. That'll account for the width of the corners, and we'll be ready to go, all right?
These frame pieces come with screen spline already in them, so they remove the spline before cutting the lightweight vinyl-coated aluminum frames. Alan is using the miter saw, but a simple hacksaw will work as well.
I had this idea, build a little fire,
Yeah.
kind of burn up all the excess wood,
had that
warm
idea?
up a little bit,
Oh,
came to me.
stand back.
I'm glad you had that idea. Smoky.
Putting the screen frame together is pretty easy. You simply line up the spline channel on the frame pieces with the channel on the plastic corners as you insert them. When all 4 corners are connected, the frame is complete and ready for the window screen, which is cut a few inches larger than the frame itself.
All right, what we always do is you cut just a little more than what you need, so it's a little bit larger, and then we put the spline back in. That's those little rubber pieces you pulled out. If you have a long roll of spline, you start at one corner and go around.
Okay.
We are going to do one end at a time, then opposite end.
Okay.
This method makes it easier to keep wrinkles out of the screen because you tension it in one direction at a time. The spline roller Alan's using is a specialty tool that's a must for this type of job. The good news is they're pretty inexpensive.
You want to try it?
I will try it.
Let's go to the opposite corner then.
Getting the hang of how hard to press that spline is the only tricky part of this job, but Hayes seems to pick it up pretty quickly. When the screen is secure on all sides, they simply trim off the excess with a utility knife.
All righty. What do you think, Hayes?
Looks great. This is perfect.
Meanwhile, Chelsea and I have cut 8 pieces of treated 1x6 to create the new wrap for our newel posts. Here's what we want to do. Put that one there, hold that, and then put this one right on top.
Okay.
And then make sure you get it good and even down there. All right, you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ow. Just kidding.
Don't worry about it. That process continues around all 4 sides until we've created a sleeve for the post. There you go.
Pretty.
Slip right down over it.
Those nails.
And see, I did
Is it
those
gonna be
nails
real?
so that for texture. I mean, so that it holds
hold the
onto the
4x4 really
4x4.
well.
Yeah. All right, it should slip right over there.
Let's see what kind of handyman you are.
There we go. Once the sleeve is positioned properly on the post, we can secure it. After that, the handrails can be reattached so that they're sturdy again. Next, we cut more 1x6 to create a base like the one we repaired on the front porch. We also use the same cap molding to finish it all off. Alan and Hayes have finished up our 4th repair by reinstalling their screens so they can jump in to help us finish number 5. They're filling the voids in the top of the post and the bad spot on the handrail with more auto body filler. Then we're finally ready to install a flat cap on the newel post and screw in a decorative finial to dress it all up.
Looks good. Yeah.
When a house has just been painted, people want to keep that new finished look, so they often ask how to keep the mold and mildew away. It really starts before you paint. The mold and mildew have to be cleared away before new paint is applied. Then the paint itself should contain a mildewcide. Many brands make it part of their formula, or it can be mixed in as an additive at the paint counter. Even with these precautions, the mold and mildew will eventually return. At the first sign of new growth, apply a mold remover like the one from Wet and Forget. It's non-caustic, non-acidic, and contains no bleach, so it won't damage your new paint. You simply apply it to a dry surface and let it go to work. No scrubbing, rinsing, or pressure washing necessary. It works with the rain and the wind to gently remove mold, mildew, and algae over time. And while the cleaning is gentle, it's also thorough, so it lasts up to a year or more. Then simply reapply it to keep your house looking like you just painted it. In just 2 days, we've completed 5 common exterior repairs with our friend Hayes Homes. His historic home is clad entirely in wood, so there's plenty of options to choose from. We started by replacing a section of fascia board that the neighborhood squirrels had gnawed their way through to get to his warm attic. Then we tackled some damaged siding, completely replacing several pieces, tightening up several loose ones, and repairing the less severely damaged ones. The decayed wood on the front porch column turned out to be only the decorative trim, and the damaged and missing window screens, well, they're an issue on almost every home, new or old. Finally, we got rid of some of the rotten wood on the newel post at the bottom of his back porch stairs. Now, Hayes, isn't it cool to be able to just take all of that rotten wood off in just a few minutes, replace it, and it looks this good? Much simpler than you thought, isn't it?
I'm very impressed. I would not have thought it could be done.
And the siding, it seemed like you figured out that siding pretty well.
I'm not going to say I figured it out, but I think I've learned, and I'm excited about trying to do it.
Now, are you thinking of painting the house yourself? I know you're trying to decide, or maybe hire some professionals.
I want to take what I've learned. I want to try it. I'll probably get a price, a couple of prices. But, trying one side or, just see how that goes. Yeah. I mean, I do want to try that.
That's great. I'm Danny Lipford. We'll see you next week.
If that squirrel jumps out and jumps on me, that's gonna be some great video.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner. And don't forget to comment, like, and hit the bell icon so that we can notify you when new videos are posted.
And don't go anywhere, click around and continue the home improving fun.